everyone, welcome back to TeamWorks. Natalie here, filling in for William as we talk about this week's activity from the self-esteem and healthy relationships phase. So our activity this week is called Drawbridge, and it'll give your students an opportunity for some positive self-reflection as well as a chance to express themselves artistically. The Energizer this week will help them develop a greater sense of self-awareness and help you as a mentor see how they define some important self-awareness related words like acceptance, responsibility, and trust. Our main activity, like I said, is called Drawbridge, and during this activity, students are going to get a chance to express where they see themselves emotionally and to chart out their personal, academic, and career-related goals. We'll also ask them to think about how far along they are on their own personal path to success. Alright, so let's get started. For our question of the day, we have, name a time when you were influenced by your friends to do something you wished you hadn't. Explain. Alright, so for example, you could say maybe you spread a rumor, said something mean about someone, lied, cheated on a test, anything like that. So this is a time when you guys can definitely put yourselves in the middle school shoes, middle school mindset, and think about all of the, challenges and peer pressure that they're facing as they're making choices every day. They are in middle school, they're definitely in a time where they're challenging authority, so they should all have a story to share for this question of the day. You guys as mentors can also bring a really great perspective to this question. You can talk about, maybe choices that you made that you regretted in middle school, but also on the flip side, maybe some positive, life lessons that came out of those mistakes. You can kind of share that side of it with them as well. So that is our question of the day. Alright, so for our Energizer, we have something called the message ding. Okay, so the purpose of this activity is to have your students critically analyze where they receive messages about beliefs and values. So where they're getting kind of their ideas about what their beliefs and morals and values are. So you guys are going to have a bag just like this, and you're going to have your students sit in a circle and pass the bag around so they can all pull out one message strip, so they'll all pull out one. Once everyone has done that, you're going to have your students go around and share how they would define the word that they received, and then also where did they get that information? How did they come up with that definition? So for example, if a student has the word looks, they might define it as their outer appearance, how everyone sees them, etc. And they might say that they got this information from the media, from TV, from Facebook, whatever it is. Okay? Or another example is if they get the word friends of the same gender, they might say, that's someone who I can trust, who I can talk to, who I can lean on, who I can depend on, and I've learned this, from my friends, through my friendships that I've had throughout my life. So that's where they got that information. That's how they would define that. So for this one, it's really important for you guys. I would definitely recommend to kind of model this for the first round so that the students see how you guys as mentors would define these words, and to really talk about where you got this information, kind of remind them, maybe you got it from your parents, from, when you were little, maybe you got it from your friends, maybe you learned it from teachers at school, wherever it is that you're getting this information and how you're defining your values and beliefs. So we want to allow everyone to share, and then you guys can also have a group discussion about it. So if someone has a different definition, or if someone got that information from somewhere else, you can do that. If a student doesn't, want to share or is uncomfortable, you can definitely throw it out to the team and have them help that student out for this activity. So you guys can play as many rounds as you like. You have a whole bag of words. If you want to pull the rest out as a team and talk about those, you can definitely do that. So that is our Energizer for this activity. So for our Let's Work portion, like I said, this activity is called Drawbridge. So what you guys are going to do, your students are going to get a sheet of poster board. I have kind of a mini example for you guys. And then they're also going to get markers, colored pencils, crayons, because they're going to be drawing. This is going to be an artistic, fun activity. So this is a creative activity, like I said, for your students to see where, and for you to see where they think they're emotionally in their lives. So to start off, they are going to draw a bridge, like you see in this example. Their bridge can look like whatever they want it to look like. It doesn't have to look like this one. They can definitely be creative. This is an artistic activity. And then there are a couple of different parts. So we're going to talk about all 4 parts to what they're going to draw along with their bridge. So this activity is about symbolism. So we don't want them to be writing words around their bridge. We want them to be drawing pictures that represent what they're trying to talk about, their emotional journey in their lives. So for the first part, at the beginning of their bridge, they're going to draw where they think they are at this point in their lives. So for example, at school, what are they doing well in? Maybe what are they struggling in with their family? You know, who's a part of their family, their career, maybe are they thinking about their career at all, their relationships with their friends, anything personal if they think, you know, they're outgoing, they're shy, they're a leader, whatever it is, they're going to represent that at the beginning of the bridge. But again, they're using symbolism for this, not words. So then at the end of their bridge, they're going to do the opposite. They're going to talk about where they would like to be, what their future goals are. So school goals, family goals, career goals, and then also we want to make sure that they're thinking about personal goals. So do they want to be a leader? Do they want to be more outgoing? Whatever it is. Do they want to be more positive? We want them to kind of think about, you know, those personal characteristics. All right. And then next up we have under the bridge. So under the bridge, we want them to represent the positive and negative elements that are either helping them or are maybe obstacles along the way to their end career, family, personal goals. So, you know, whatever it is, if it's something that they need to overcome or if it's a really encouraging, positive person in their lives, they're going to put that under the bridge. So then last but not least, at the very end, after they finish their bridge and their, you know, beginning and their end goals and their obstacles, they're going to put themselves on the bridge. So where do they stand today? Where do they think they are in their journey? Are they still kind of at the beginning? They're pretty young. Maybe they think they're a little further along towards the middle. And how far do they have to go to get to their end goals? So remember again, this is about symbols. So we want them to be drawing these pictures to represent all of their goals and their challenges and their positive characteristics that are helping them along the way. And then they're going to place themselves on the bridge. So that is our activity. That is drawbridge. So remember that this week's activity is about positive self-awareness. We talked about, you know, how they define these values, and then emotional reflection on where they are emotionally today. So remember that while trying to balance homework, grades, friends, family, our middle schoolers don't always have time to really pause, stop, and reflect on where they are, where they want to be, you know, changes they want to make. So I'd really encourage you guys to engage with your students in conversation, especially with the topics that are going to come up during this session. As you might remember from training, middle school is a critical time for students to establish their identity. So the ideas that we're going to discuss throughout this phase, like self-awareness and positive self-esteem, are critical pieces in this journey. So last but not least, remember that this phase is about cultivating positive self-esteem. So let's continue to reinforce the positive characteristics that they see in themselves and their teammates. On behalf of Will, this is Natalie signing out.